Welcome to 5-Minute Monster Views. I'm your host, Monster D, and today I have a most magical, mystifying guest, a most mesmerizing storyteller. Let me introduce you to the one, the only, Misty Mator. Hello, Misty. How are you today?
I'm good. Hi, Monster D.
Excellent, excellent. Well, welcome to my 5-minute monster views. Today, I am going to pull the monster right out of your very own mind. Something that has been there the entire time that you may not have even been aware of. And let me show you how I will do it. I will do so by using my magic monster maker. With this device, I shall pull the monster out from you, put it on this page, and do so in 5 minutes or less. Misty, all I need for you to do is to give me a number between 1 and 8.
2.
2. Excellent. So now I will give my magic monster maker a gentle shake. I would not want anything to hatch on me right on this day. And then I am going to open the monster maker. And we must find an... Is that your number? Can you see that?
No, that's not my number, but you can use it if
That
you
is a
want.
6? No.
That's a 6.
We are going to find an 8. Is that your number? Oh, no. How about that?
That's it.
2. There we go. So the number is 2, and now I will open the egg, and it will reveal what is going to come from your own mind. So, can you tell me what that says? Oh, if I can unfurl it.
Favorite animal.
Favorite animal. Excellent. So, I'm going to place the monster maker right here and ask you, Misty, what is your favorite animal in the entire world?
A unicorn.
A unicorn. Excellent, excellent. That is not unicorny at all. So I am going to pull this monster right out of you. And let me do so in 5 minutes or less. And go. So, as I begin here, Misty, tell me. So I understand you are the marketing director of an entire storytelling group. Tell me,
Yes.
what are your duties? Tell me about this group and what do your duties entail with this?
Well, the group I'm a part of is Tell, Pittsburgh Storytelling Series, and it is the reinvention of the Three Rivers Storytelling Festival that used to be held in Pittsburgh for 16 years. Whereas with the festival, you had one event once a year with many storytellers. With Tell, you get one teller for one night, once a month during the season, which right now runs September through December, and we're hoping to slowly expand it so that it runs 12 months a year. As the marketing director, my job is to make sure everybody knows about Tell, Pittsburgh Storytelling Series, who's coming to Tell, and what night, and everything else about how you get your tickets and those sorts of things. I now, not all marketing directors make the graphic designs or flyers for their
Ooh.
group, but I do. I also make sure that everything's up on our Facebook page. I double check, make sure things are on our website. I help write out the email to our mailing list. And then I also, when we are in person, I help make sure that there is stuff going in the newspaper, going up on signs and flyers, stuff's getting on the radio. It's my job to make sure that everybody knows that Tell is happening and who is coming to tell.
So you
Who is
take
coming to tell
tell.
at Tell?
So you really take tell and tell it on the mountain, huh?
That's right.
Excellent, excellent. So while I'm here drawing, can you tell me why did you choose a unicorn out of all animals? What makes the unicorn so deep in your favor?
When I was 4 years old, I saw the movie The Last Unicorn, and it
Mm.
became my favorite movie all while growing up. I just sort of registered with this character that was different from everybody else, had something special inside of her, but she didn't quite click with everybody. I was sort of an unusual kid, and I liked that the unicorn was a good guy, and she was strong, and she was magical. And so that's just sort of run with it ever since. Um, yeah, and then I also, there's a lot of history and symbolism with the unicorn, and there's different forms of the unicorn around the world. I think it's called the Kirin in, is it Japan? It's Japan or China. I can't remember. That
Hmm.
actually looks more like a dragon, which is interesting, and is
Oh.
also supposed to be responsible for giving written language to that country in that myth. So it's something I liked when I was little, and then it's sort of grown with me. If I were to pick an living animal that you can find at the zoo, I'd probably pick an otter because they're playful and they like being in the water.
As well, you oughter. Excellent. So let me see here. I am also a big fan of The Last Unicorn. I've watched it many, many times, but even when I do not or cannot watch the whole thing, I have frequently been known to click it on just to watch that magical America intro, and then
Yes.
move on with my day. Sometimes you just need that level of enchantment.
Yes, I love that song. I love those songs. And I've made certain to show them to my children so that way I can, watch them all over again for another 10 or 15 years. And when I was a little girl, it was really hard to find unicorn things. I remember it was easy to find at the Big Butler Fair, which is a big fair in Western Pennsylvania, but you couldn't really find things at stores. And now my daughter, there's unicorn everything. We can
Hmm,
find all the unicorns to our heart's content. So that's been nice.
very cool. Yes, there's definitely been a bit of a unicorn revolution lately.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
so
Unicorn everything.
so tell me, uh, across the storytelling spectrum, what has been your most recent success?
There's a storytelling series that's based in Fairfax, Virginia, which is just outside of Washington, D.C., that's run by Jessica Robinson. It's called Better Said Than Done, and they went
Mm.
virtual and sort of pioneered the way for virtual storytelling shows when the pandemic happened.
Uh-oh.
They have been um, producing shows for 10 years, and for their 10th anniversary, they had two shows in honor of that. I was in the second one, which had this theme Perfect 10.
Hmm.
And there's a story that I've wanted to tell for a long time, and I could never quite find the right way to tell it. But then I had the idea, because it's a personal narrative, and Better Said Than Done does primarily personal narratives. Their in-person shows are all personal narratives, although they opened it up a bit this past year while it was online. But I took a personal narrative and told it as a folk tale. So it was a personal folk tale, and it was really well received, and it came out beautifully, and I was very happy with that. So that was probably my most recent big success.
Very nice. Very nice. All right.
Oh,
Oh.
there's also this other little thing. I had a very productive week, the third week in May of 2021. I also was the creative producer for the Folktale Fight contest for emergent tellers for Pittsburgh Storytelling Series.
Mm.
There are contests for liars' tales, there's contests for personal narratives called story slams, but there wasn't really anything specifically for folk tales. So I had the idea for a contest that's specifically for folk tellers, and Tell agreed to produce it, and I ran as the creative producer, and we produced the first ever folktale fight contest for emergent tellers. The winner was Tim Araneta, and he will be a part of Tell's Winter Olio this December in 2021. And the audience loved it. It was a great time. All of the tellers were really professional, and it made for a great storytelling concert, but we also had a winner at the end, so that was a lot of fun. So I had two big successes recently. Personally, both on stage as a storyteller and then backstage production wise.
Very nice. Telling it from both sides of the tale, huh?
Yeah.
Excellent. And it's good to know that there is a nice, productive place for liars as well, according to what you just said.
Yes, liars contests, liars tales are a big thing in storytelling. There's a lot of contests. The West Virginia Liars Contest is one of the biggest ones in the United States, and there are cash prizes for that. So the sort of stories like tall tales, like John Henry, people go and tell their own, and you can't quite tell, okay, what's real and what's not. So yes, but I know a few professional liars.
As long as they keep it professional, yes.
That's right. Yeah.
So, also, I failed to yet bring up the topic of Starla the Storyteller. Uh,
Yes.
so, uh, if you would like so Starla the Storyteller, of course, is a brainchild of yours, a very
Yes.
creative one, I might say. And I have to ask if Misty Mator and Starla the Storyteller ever had a storytelling showdown. How do you think that would play out?
Oh my. I guess that would depend on the type of story that we had to tell, or what the limitations were, but that would be really something because Darla is very animated and moves a lot, and she has some freedom and liberties that she can do it and pull it off. And if I try to do it, it doesn't have quite the same magic as if
Hmm.
I try to do it. But I don't know. I think it would be sort of a tie. It would be interesting to work with her if I was the narrator and then she was, telling the other parts of the story. That would be, I don't know. I don't know if I could declare a winner. That might be something worth exploring.
That would be quite a double story match there, indeed. I suppose I might want to consider doing something similar with my assistant who helps me set up all of this.
Yes, that
My
would be
lair.
great. We could have like a double showdown. That would be fun.
Okay, so that is the core of our 5 minute monster session. Here is your
Wow.
unicornized self. Actually,
Wow.
a little bit of a unicorn otter there. See, I actually caught a fish there in the end.
I see. Wow. You are very talented and skilled.
well,
Thank you.
you may call me talented, but remember that this monster came from your own mind. So, with that, can you would you like to tell us what the next great thing you have looking forward to in your life?
Well, this summer I'm taking a bit of a step back from storytelling to spend more time with my four kids and my other main job being mom. But in the fall, there's quite a bit going on. Tell's storytelling season will launch, so be sure to check back to see www.tellpgh.org to see what's going on there. If I have anything personally where I'm performing coming up, you can check that out at www.storytellermistymator.com, or you can check my Facebook page. I'm going to be directing the local high school play, which I hope will be a folktale, and I have some other productions coming up where I will be telling stories, but I can't share all of the details on those yet.
You have one of those Marvel-esque exclusivity contracts. You cannot speak.
Yes, yes, I can't reveal yet, but you should check out what's going on with Tell, and you should check out what's going on with Starla. Oh, there's one thing. I will be one of the performers for Beaver Tales, which is in Beaver, Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
Starla will be coming into the schools, and I will be there in the evening at the gazebo with other storytellers for their annual storytelling festival, which they're very excited to be able to resume again in 2021.
And considering your energy levels and creativity with storytelling, despite them being beaver tales, there is no way that those stories could be flat. So please check out those stories.
Thank you.
And thank you, Misty Mater, for making your way here for allowing me to extract the 5 Minute Monster from your very own mind. Thank you for bringing your smiles and your enthusiasm and keep on telling tales all across the area. Thank you so much for being here. And Misty, stay monstrous.
Thank you for having me, Monster D, and you stay monstrous too. This is a traditional Appalachian folktale. I first heard Michelina Zuckett from West Virginia tell this story, and I also heard storyteller Judy Tarosky tell it. This is my version of the traditional Appalachian folktale, Taily Po. Long time ago, but not so long ago that your grandfather might not remember, there lived a grumpy, crotchety old man up in the mountains. And he lived way far away from town, and he never went into town to see anybody, and everybody in town was just fine with that because he was a mean-spirited old man. Now, he wasn't completely alone because he did have 3 dogs. Now, whatever their names originally were, they learned to respond to the things that the irritable old man used to yell the most. "Dumb mutt, dag nabbit, doggone it! We can't catch nothing for my supper. It's all your fault." That day they had been out hunting in the woods, up the hill and down the hill, and they hadn't caught anything for supper. So when they came home and the old man closed the door that had the lock that he never did get fixed, he cut up a raw carrot, ate it, and went to bed. And that night the wind was blowing, and then he started hearing long fingernails with pointed nails on them reached around the door and opened it, and he saw red beady eyes. And then he heard a scratching as whatever this thing was walked around along the floor. Now, being a man that was used to living off the land, he had his hatchet right by his bed, and with a whoo, he came that hatchet down on that animal, and scratching, it went out the door, and he said, You dumb mutt, dag nabbit, doggone it, go get that critter." Well, the dogs came back, and they never did get the critter. But when he looked to see what his hatchet had caught, there was a big, huge, what looked like a giant rat tail. And since that was all they had caught, he cut that up, made a stew, and he ate it. And he gave maybe 1 lick to each of his dogs. And after his belly was full, he went back to bed. And there was a sound of the wind blowing. And before long, there was a ee, ee, and long fingernails on long spindly fingers reached around that door with red beady eyes behind it. And there was a voice, and it said, "Taily Po, Taily Po, where's my Taily Po?" And he looked up and he saw those long fingernails at the end of his bed and those red eyes. He said, "You dumb mutt, go get that critter on out of here." And the dog chased after the critter, and he never came back. Some people worry he got into a losing battle with the critter. I like to think that he found a much nicer home on the other side of the hill. But whatever the case, Dumb Mutt never came back, and the old man fell asleep with Dag Nabbit and Doggone It asleep next to him. Before long, there was a ee, and long fingernails reached around that wooden door that had no lock. He saw those red, beady eyes. And again, the critter said, "Taily Po, Taily Po, where's my Taily Po?" And this happened 2 more times, and he said, "Doggone it," after the critter, and he sent Dag Nabbit after the critter, and neither of the dogs came back. So finally, when the Wind was blowing, and he heard that ee, ee, and saw the fingernails come around the wooden door, and then fingernails came over the edge of the bed, and those red eyes asking where his taily paw was. He said, "I don't got your tail. I done ate it. You just need to live with that." And the creature, "Taily paw, taily paw, where's my taily paw?" And nobody ever saw or heard from that grumpy, irritable, mean, nasty old man ever again. But every now and again, when the wind blows through that part of the mountains, you can hear, "Taily po,